What's up, CineNerds? I'm GP Cross,
And I'm Ryan Newhouse.
and today we got a little special treat going because Ryan binged watched all the Scream movies. And so he reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's do a Scream ranking." I just watched all the Scream movies in one fucking day, which is impressive to do all that in one day. But he knew I have seen all these 100 times, so here we are.
Yeah, and of course we have Scream 7 approaching. So this kind of get us ramped up, I feel, to that release because I'm kind of excited after binging through these. The wife and I had the laziest Sunday ever yesterday, and we definitely we just she woke me up early and she goes, "Why don't we do a Scream marathon?" And I'm like, "Done. Okay." Because I didn't want to do shit yesterday. My kids came over on Saturday, and we actually all my kids are older than 21 except for one. So when I say this, please stay in your seats. It's okay. But all my kids came over and we did games all night on Saturday, and we had some beverages. So yesterday I was feeling a little rough. Movie marathon.
He must have been feeling really rough because let me tell you what Ryan did, and I have to say this now.
Oh.
So,
wait. Save it for that episode.
I want to do it so bad now, though.
Go
Uh,
ahead, get it out of your system.
so I sent him a list of movies days ago. Not days ago. I mean, like at least 3 or 4 days ago. I sent him a list of movies that we were going to record today, and we were going to record this. We decided to scream one yesterday, but really, we decided all of them yesterday. But um, it was two movies and the Scream episode, and so he was like, "Well, hey, what about this movie on your list? It's called The Ugly Stepsister." I said, "Well, I put it on the list because I had never seen the movie, and I figured that he had never seen the movie." So let's fast forward to today. So you already know that's popping up. I'm gonna have it on our schedule on our .com anyway. So you're already going to know that if you're on our .com.
Hold on. He sent four movies. The reason I chose that one is because he said he had not seen it yet, which I had not either. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the correlation. But go ahead.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah. But
So,
I was making it a little simpler.
yeah. So I was just stating that me saying what movie it was. This will be on our schedule on our .com anyway. So not giving a spoiler away on what's coming up. So he texted me this morning and said, Sorry, I'm running behind. I'm getting ready to watch The Evil Stepmom." And I'm like, I thought he was joking. I'm really reading the text. I'm like, that's not the movie that we're watching. The movie is The Ugly Stepsister. Ha 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 ha. And he takes me back and he's like, "Oops, I already bought The Evil Stepmom."
It was only $7 to be fair. But that said, I'm just gonna put it out there, dude. You got family, you have two-word movie titles, and you've got an adjective and a noun. I mean, come on. Easy mix up here. Easy mix up.
And yeah, and I honestly this went on for a few minutes, and I honestly the whole time I thought Ryan was joking, but no. Come to find out, he was not joking.
He texted me back, "You mean you actually bought the evil stepmom?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, that was a fuckery on my part."
And now let's
I'm,
rewind. Let's rewind to the fact that whenever we decided to do The Ugly Stepsister, I even responded with, "Hey, this is in my Fandango account. You can watch it there." Or it also says it's on Hulu and Shutter.
to which, when I went on to Hulu and Shutter, I looked up Evil Stepmom, and they're not there. So hence why I bought it. And it was also, to be fair, JP has a odd work schedule and nighttime schedule, and I was being considered. I didn't want to text him at 1:30 in the morning last night and be like, "Hey, what's your Voodoo password?" Because I forgot. And so yeah, that was kind of where that's what led us to where we're at with that. But that's we'll dig into that more because by the time we cover that, I'm probably gonna have watched the Evil Stepmom and the Ugly Stepsister.
I want to know how the evil stepmom is because the trailer looked awful.
The trailer looked incredibly painful. Not gonna lie, I'm intrigued though. I'm intrigued because I still have faith that this movie might be better than some of the movies you put in front of me. That's all. Oh, and I mean, if this movie is super horrible, I mean, if it's super bad, maybe I'll even try and figure out how to do a what's the one I don't want to watch from you? Oh, the Queer Wolf.
Queer Wolf.
Maybe we'll do something where I compare them for myself and just see how bad this Queer Wolf really is. But Megan,
Queer Wolf is not a bad movie. Now it's a horrible budgeted movie done in the 80s, but it's
well,
not a bad movie.
the evil stepmom looks horribly budgeted as well. It's okay. I mean, they're already in the same category there for.
Oh no! I mean, I can't remember what the budget is for Queer Wolf, but I honestly think it's like $1,500, man. I mean, when I say low budget,
So we're talking like Thanksgiving.
oh, lower than Thanksgiving.
What? All right, I said Megan's name. I started to say it. She keeps defending this movie to the grave with you. So at some point we'll have to do that. But you know what? Today's not about the fucking Queer Wolf. It's not about evil stepmoms or ugly stepsisters. This is about Scream. So let's dig in.
Okay, so we're gonna rock paper scissors this.
No, you know what? I'm gonna go with you. You get to start this. So the reason I say you with this is because I definitely appreciate the first Scream. I appreciate the second one. I didn't really get into the others, but my wife has equally the same love for this franchise as JP, and the amount of love that they have, I gotta let him start this. He's gotta take it home.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. A lot of Scream fans mad at how my ranking is on these films.
Oh, I will too, for sure.
So, just throwing that out there. But I will defend why they're ranked the way that I have them ranked.
I'm pretty positive within my entire being that JP and I will both choose the same number one, and that's fine. That's fair because that's the way it should be, in my opinion. But that aside,
our number ones. I'm assuming is the only Scream movie we've actually did a review on.
that's probably correct. Yes. So we'll get there, but we can dig into why too when we get there. But the other movies, definitely, I think we're going to be all over the place, different, and I think that we're going to definitely piss off a lot of people on both sides.
All right, so I'm going to start with my number 6 in the ranking. So there's 6 films out now. We can't rank the 7th one yet. And my 6th one in my ranking, my top 6 ranking, is Scream 6. Because to me, it is the weakest of the Screams. You don't have too many legacy characters in the film. You don't have Sidney Prescott. It's the only one you don't have Sidney Prescott.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
She's physically in the movie.
She is physically not in the movie.
No, wait, I'm thinking of 5.
Yeah,
you're right.
You are thinking of 5.
So what's funny about this is my wife and I had this argument yesterday because she thought that Sydney was in everything, and I said I was the one arguing it, and I just did that. Anyways.
Yeah, no, it's just the only Scream movie that Sidney Prescott is not in. Now, Sidney is not the best character in all these films. I may have named my daughter after her because I loved her in the first film, but she is not the best thing about all these films. She's actually some of the issues with some of these films because she just kind of phones it in and just goes through the motions. So this film not including her, that's not actually why I hate it. And I don't hate it. It's not the reason it's completely on the bottom of the list, but it doesn't help it any. You know, the fact that you don't have Dewey anymore. You don't have any of the legacy characters other than Courtney Cox, and that's it. But the film itself it isn't that good. I mean, some of the I loved the okay. I love that they go to a different location. I love that they're in New York. People had issues with the Ghostface with a gun. I actually like Ghostface with a gun.
I love that scene.
I love that scene. Yeah, and I know a lot of people had issues with it. I love that scene. There's so much. Samara Weaving is the opening kill in this movie.
Oh my God, that yellow dress. Oh.
So there's so much I love about this film, but man, the twist at the end is just so fucking weak. And I don't know. This film, the twist at the end is what put it at the bottom for me. And no Sydney, the twist at the end, and it lost me as in where I would rank it. Now, I love all these films. So me putting this at the bottom of all six doesn't mean I dislike this movie. It just means I had things that irked me more about this film than the other films.
Okay. Um, I will say this. So, despite however I rank these, this isn't like, and I think JP agrees with me here too. Even though he's got problems with six, we love all the movies in this franchise. So we're not shitting on the movies for where they're at. So we'll say that before we go any further. But to that point, my number six is part four. Part four was basically, to me, part four was trying to repeat the success of the first one, and almost with the reinvention of it. And it just, for me, it was more unoriginal. I did like Hayden Panettiere's. I probably just butchered your last name. I did like Hayden's character Kirby. Kirby is definitely a focus point for me. I did appreciate her. However, the way that they use, I will say this too, as far as what JP is talking about with Sidney Prescott. So Sidney Prescott in this franchise for Scream World only is essentially the Luke Skywalker of Scream, right? So they bring her back kind of as a like, here's the golden girl, we're gonna make something happen. And I just, like he said, I think JP said, would you say phone a friend?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like how they bring her in. Like, this part's starting to dip off. The storyline's getting a little weak. Let's bring in Sydney, and I do feel that is a problem for the franchise. So, which I think won't isn't going to fall far from the tree in seven, as we saw that Sydney is the one they had to bring back in to save the franchise because of the issues they faced. So yeah, part four just did not do it for me in a big way, and I was a little bummed out.
And that's where a lot of people put four. You know, a lot of people do not like part four. We're going to see where mine lands.
All right.
So my number five, and this is where people are really going to start getting mad at me on my
Oh
ranking.
boy.
Scream 2.
Really? Okay.
I just, I didn't, I don't, okay. It was, I can't take the girl from Roseanne seriously.
I okay. Keep going.
That's it. I mean, Jackie is the mother of Skeet Ulrich's character Billy, and she's the mastermind behind part two. And I just see her, and I see it's Jackie. This is Jackie from fucking Roseanne, and I cannot take it serious. Now, I love Timothy Olyphant as the killer, one of the Ghostface killers. I'm a huge Timothy Olyphant fan. You know, I love Justified. I love most of the TV series and stuff that he's done. You know, but it kind of just goes through a lot of the same beats, and then I just can't take the main mastermind seriously because I just see Jackie Connor.
And I can understand that, but I do think that she played the part well to flip the switch towards the end. Like, so she played this annoying kiss ass of a woman trying to further her career, coming at Gail, and well, I'll dig deeper on my rating. But all right, for me, number five is Scream 3. So Scream 3 bothered me in a few different ways. One of them being that, hey, we've got the only movie in the entire franchise where you don't have an accomplice. You've got a solo killer. Ramon, am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you guys haven't seen these by now, excuse me. Oh, I'm glad I put my arm over my mouth because that would have really blown up in the mic. Anyways, yeah, I didn't dig the way that this went, and furthermore, as I watched this one didn't quite capture what I was hoping for. It had a really cool vibe. It's got great cast, but then when Ramon comes out, he starts saying like his big thing about why he did what he did, and he almost claims that he is the one who started this whole thing. He is the one who forced Billy's hand and showed him the video of his mom and or his dad and Sydney's mom. And those things kind of really sat with me in a side eye type scenario. I just didn't care for it. I usually like that there's an accomplice because then there's always that backup unknown mystery character comes out of nowhere. I kind of dig those things. Some people might like it because he was standalone, but myself, I was not a fan of it. I just couldn't get with it. Oh, and I will also mention Detective Mark. I really, really, when I was watching this, because 3 and 4 are the two that I really hadn't seen and really dug into deep enough when I was doing this watch yesterday. I'd only seen them once, I believe. But Mark, I find it funny he was in it, and I kept banking it was going to be him because I had forgotten completely. I was like, I think he's the guy. I think he's the guy. I'm pretty sure. No, he wouldn't play the same thing he played in Thanksgiving. Like,
Yeah,
because
but he
Thanksgiving's
was he was definitely a red herring for the movie for sure.
yeah, yeah. They put a lot of those in all of them, obviously, to keep you guessing. But that one just, I find it funny that he's in a franchise that he essentially cloned and made into a Thanksgiving theme thing, where very very similar Thanksgiving and Scream. But go ahead.
So that's your number 5. My number 4 is Scream 3. And now, here's the thing with Scream 3 with me. Today, it's my number 4. At any given time, Scream 3 could be my number 2. The reason being, Scream 3 is one of my favorites of the series because it's so bonkers. The film makes no sense. The film knows it's bad. Now, it has a Jay and Silent Bob cameo. It has Parker Posey overacting, which Parker Posey, I argue, knows the type of film that she's in Scream 3 and is overacting and exaggerating everything. And Parker Posey, you are a gem in that fucking movie, and you are the best thing about Scream 3, and you're one of the best things about any of the Scream films. Period. So, Parker Posey, you should have came back for more Scream films. It is the most Scooby-Doo version of Scream.
Oh, for sure.
And it is the most Scooby-Doo, and I love that. And that's why I said it's my number 4 today. But any given time, it could be my number 2 because I love Scream 3. Now, the problem with Scream 3 is it's bonkers. It goes off the rails. Nothing makes sense. The red herring, like you said, the detective, by all accounts, he should have been the killer. And I think the director, halfway through the film, forgot about him. Because he's not in the movie. He's not in half of the movie. There's a big gap there where he just disappears. I think the director forgot Patrick Dempsey was in this film, and he had queued him up as the fucking killer. And everything he set up like he was going to be the killer, like you believed. And then it turned out it's the horror film, the indie horror film director that happens to be Sidney Prescott's brother. But then Sidney Prescott shows up at the end of the movie and knows who her brother is, calls him by name, but they have never met in the entire fucking film until that moment at the end of the film. I dare you to find a scene where those two are together and know who each other are until they're at the end of the fucking film together. It makes no sense. It's bonkers. It's out of control, and I love it. Fucking love it.
Sense. You know what I forgot about in this movie too is like this movie any given day probably could have been a lot higher in my ranking as well for one particular reason. Miss Carrie Fisher.
Oh yeah, Carrie Fisher. I said there's so much off the rails about this film.
She's actually like referencing Princess Leia and saying, "Yeah, no, I'm not her. I look like her. I know."
She calls Carrie Fisher a fucking whore.
She slept with George Lucas to get the part. I was dying. I was like, this kid just make the movie right here. This is my number 1. We're done.
That's what I said. At any given time, it's number 4 today, but any given time, it could be my number 2 because the Scream 3 goes off the fucking rails. It's the most bonkers one of all of them.
I like your analogy. You're doing great with these analogies today, JP. The Scooby Doo one is definitely top tier because that just hits it on the mark for me with this one.
It is. It's the most Scooby Doo one, and they're all a bit Scooby Doo, but this one is the most
No,
Scooby Doo.
yeah, that this one's a little like cheesy. Like there's almost parts where I was like, this doesn't even chalk up.
Yeah.
Um, all right, number four for me. This one was hard because I saw six before I saw part five, but number five holds the mantle for number four for me. Number five, just for me, it kind of, how do I say this? It's trying to build into a new area and it's doing well as it does it. And then phone a friend, Sydney. Gail shows up. I mean, it just starts getting. I'm like, this is not needed. These two sisters were great. It was solid. I liked where they're going. I like that it's Billy's daughter. I like that Sam is seeing him and it's slowly driving her mad and she's fighting it. I like a lot of aspects about it. I just feel like they fell short and it came through to execution. So I would love to put this one higher, but I just couldn't in good faith. Uh, and it's that this is so backwards because you can tell if I've already put five there that six is higher than this on the list. So it's yeah, lots of question marks from me. I know.
So my number three is Scream Five.
Oh shit, we had some.
We're literally like one off on a lot, some of these here. So
Yeah,
uh, yeah, my number three is Scream Five. I like Scream Five. I like Scream Five a lot. Again, Sydney phones it in. Sydney didn't need to be in this film, but you know who needed to be in this film and was in this film? Dewey. That is the one that probably the most emotional death scene of any Scream film is in this film when Dewey dies, and Dewey's death scene is painful, to watch. Like it's just that's an emotional scene for the Scream franchise, and this film, like you're right, the two girls, with Jenna Ortega and the girl from Abigail, I cannot ever remember her name, but they set up to take this franchise over and do it well, with these two girls, and I love that they were setting up, you know, Loomis's daughter and her actually seeing um, her father,
yeah.
maybe slowly turning her into a serial killer, making her go mad. Now, the one thing I always irks me even more so than Sidney Prescott phoning it in, there's a moment at the end of this film, and it was such a missed opportunity. Such a fucking missed opportunity. And the first time I saw this film, that was the first thing I said was when she goes crazy and is like stabbing the Ghostface killer at the end.
22
What
times.
what a missed opportunity before she fucking started that to look at him and go, sometimes we all go a little mad, and then but she didn't say the line. Why did they not allow her to say
I
the psycho line?
I'll one up you that you should have had her her hallucination or whatever it is or the ghost of Skeet behind her with a hand on his shoulder saying sometimes we all go a little mad and instigating it
Yeah.
further. I kind of thought the same thing there. Um, and the other thing I will talk about too, because you brought it up, is Dewey's death scene. So Dewey's death scene, like this, it's so funny because I was talking about how much my wife loves this, and you do. My wife, she was like, I can't watch what's about to happen, and because she's seen it so many times and it bothers her. And I have the same feelings when Han Solo dies. I get it, but no, the Dewey aspect though, she like literally like she looked away. She really was emotionally invested in that moment, and I feel like they did his character one of the best exits ever though. I do like how it was done. I do like that he tried to stand his ground, go toe to toe with this guy, and it just didn't happen. And however, I was a little pissed off when I found out who the who the villains were in this because I was like, dude, we could have kicked this dude's ass. What the anyways.
Yeah.
But my favorite part about that scene was at the end when Dewey's about to just go down and Ghostface reaches over and it was an honor, is what he says in his ear. And I was like, that's fucking cool. That's cool. At least there's respect there, you know? So it was good.
All righty, we're at your number three, I think.
Yep. So number three, this one is a biggie for me. This is where everyone's gonna get a little upset. Um, Scream Two. Scream Two is my number three because Scream Two, to me, was pretty impressive with how it was executed. It wasn't quite the original. It didn't have the same feeling, the same almost perfections of the pacing, of the strategy of where they place certain things, and the way they keep you guessing. It wasn't that perfect or polished, but it definitely had some key amazing moments that kept you going through the film. You definitely are questioning it. You're listening to the rules as they change. And that was one of the things I liked through this entire franchise, is listening to the different variations of rules. I think it gets a little convoluted towards the we're into 5 and 6, and now the girl who's essentially what's his face, Randy's replacement, she starts giving her versions of rules, and I wasn't really feeling her versions as much as Randy's. But that also brings up Randy. That's this is a key. This is another key death that
Hmm.
I took me back, and I was a little bothered because I really wanted to see more out of him. I feel like I'm going to make another Star Wars reference. I feel like Randy got Darth Mauled. We need more Randy. Like that just was too soon, and I felt like they could have done more with him.
It was too
Um,
soon, but we got Randy in the Tremors movies.
Oh, I bet you're loving that, buddy. I won't watch those. I will at some point, but I just, oh my
telling you,
god.
telling you, the Tremors are so good, and Jamie Kennedy comes in the last couple is solid, man.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think I told you before. I saw the first two, and I didn't even know there was more after that. So, yeah, crazy. Um, yeah, I don't know. Scream Two, just the big thing about Scream Two too. This could have any given day, like you said, this could flip to me and be number two as well. This movie had such an amazing cast in it. It's definitely I don't know, just this one definitely deserves top three for me. That's all I can say.
So we're at my number two. Do
Scream
you
three.
do you remember? Do you remember what movie I've not talked about? What Scream movie I haven't talked about yet? Here is my really unpopular opinion that most people are going to say, JP, you're a fucking idiot for this being your number two. Scream 4 is my number two. And I love Scream 4 because, I mean, Kirby. Kirby is so amazing in this film. She is so nerdy with her horror knowledge. And then I love the horror class kids, with Macaulay Culkin's brother being one of the Ghostface killers, and the kid always has the camera recording, vlogging online. Before that was even really a thing like you see today. That there was things about this movie that was really kind of ahead of its time socially. Um, there was I don't know I love
Webcams.
yeah, I love this reboot because that is what it is. Yeah, it goes through a lot of like you said earlier, it goes through a lot of the same, you know, ABC through Z just like the original, but it's fun. And they throw so many what Scream 4 has, and my argument on why it's my number 2, and I get why it's the some people hate this on the most. Hate on this one the most, to where I get it because it is kind of the same thing. It hits the same beats a lot of what the original Scream did, but the characters in this film are the best characters we've had of any of the Scream movies. Like the characters are so good in this film, like uh, that it just makes up for it for me. Um, I don't know. I mean, and Sydney does she does better in this film than she does the rest of the films outside of the first one. I feel like she actually was trying in this film versus really phoning it in. And I mean, especially part 5. Look at how much she phoned in part 5. I mean, and even part 3, she really phoned in 3 and 5, like completely. Which she was pretty much there in part 4. She didn't phone it in nowhere near as much. She was a lot better. She was more Sidney Prescott in this film than any other Scream movie outside of the original.
You just made me think about something. So when well, I'll get to it later. Well, I'll get to it when you're done.
I'm done. Go ahead.
All right. So my number two, and this is where I'm going to piss off a lot of people. We're on two, right? Yeah. My number two, and this is where I'm going to piss off a lot of people, is part six. I enjoyed the hell out of part six. I felt like this movie was one of the darker ones. I absolutely love the shotgun scene in the 7-Eleven. But what I do, and correct me here, JP, because you've watched these more than I have. But Hayden, Kirby, when she shows up, how do they know her? They're like Kirby. Like they weren't on screen together in the other movies,
Uh,
were they?
no, it wasn't. And you asked me that, but Scream 6 is the one I've only watched a couple times. It's the only one that I have not watched like 100 fucking times.
So yeah, so Kirby
So,
comes in and she's like an FBI agent now.
sh was it them or was it Courtney Cox that recognized Kirby?
I thought it was Sam that said Kirby, or
It
maybe
may
even Jenna.
it may
Yeah.
have been. It may have been, but yeah, I don't know. They were
Huh.
never in a film with Kirby.
But yeah, so going back to this though, like I do feel like the kills are much more violent. I do like that they start off with kind of a copycat scenario. Samara weaving is the opening area. In the way that these kills kind of go forward, it's very, very cool. Like you have a couple copycats who want to become the next Scream guys. Then all of a sudden, the new Scream guy kills those guys, and that's just right off the rip. That's in the first 10, 15 minutes, and then the question marks start coming in. Now, JP feels that the end with the reveal of who the Ghostface were is lazy. I appreciated it because the first time, whereas me not liking the idea of what was it, three with the brother angle with Ramon. He was a solo accomplice. This one they upped the ante. Now we've got three. So you've got a father, a daughter, and a son, and they're related to the guy from part five. They basically have a whole collection of memorabilia from every single Ghostface, all nine of the previous ones. And now we're at technically, if I remember correctly, 13, and I'll say why I say 13 in a minute. um Ghost faces, and it just gets cool from there. I like the way that you kind of have different people having different battles. They're locked into this small area, and it's kind of like a battle royale. And I don't know, I enjoyed it. I thought it was bloodier. I appreciated it more. I love the main antagonist. I loved his arc, and I like seeing Sam keep developing. It's really a shame they didn't get to develop the character into what they intended for the rest of the franchise. They wanted to make her become the next Ghostface by way of insanity with Billy haunting her and building that up. And god damn, that would have been cool. Um, I told my wife last night because I'm overthinking it. But I told her, I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if they just punked us all and they went radio silent for a reason, and there wasn't politics involved, and they actually at the end of the movie the new Ghostface is Sam. Like that would be an awesome, like, Marvel does shit where they try and throw
Yeah.
you off all the time. That'd be awesome if they did something like that. But I don't see that happening.
No, I don't see it
Anyways,
happening either. But no, it is the bloodiest. It has probably the coolest kills of any Scream movie. It really does. I mean, there's so much to love about Scream 6. I put it at the bottom of my list, but it has so many great elements.
yeah, I don't know. For nothing, if nothing else, I'm the guy who, like, that's one of the reasons I gravitate towards. And I know I bring up Star Wars way too much, guys. I know it's just a love for me. But one of the darkest Star Wars movies is Empire Strikes Back. And anytime I've got a franchise, because we're in franchise rules at this point. Anytime I've got a franchise, I will gravitate towards that dark movie. And this one definitely is one of the darker ones.
So we're at both of our number ones.
We both know what the number one is for both of us. So let's just dive in and both talk about it. Go ahead and
So
give your 2 cents first.
so Scream, the original, because it is the original. There's not a lot I can say about this that I didn't say in our actual review of this film, because it's the only one we reviewed for the actual show, and I gave it a perfect 5. It's one of the few movies I gave a perfect 5 to outside of The Thing, and there might have been one other one I gave a perfect 5 to.
I don't remember what I ranked it. I thought it somewhere up there.
It was up there. It wasn't a perfect five. I know I've only given two or three perfect fives out, and Scream was one of them. And it is solely because, I mean, I named my daughter after Sidney Prescott because of this film, the original, and it was because this film changed slasher horror. And when people were saying slasher horror was dead and it's that type of horror is not going to be done anymore, it's just bombs. Here, Wes Craven comes with a left hook and gives a scream and changes the fucking rules and kind of makes fun of slasher films while making a serious film and making it work and making you wonder like, oh my god, this is like a mystery. It is like a Scooby Doo fucking episode, but with a slasher killer. Um, like who's the killer? Is it Farmer Bob? It is. He essentially took Scooby Doo and made a slasher horror film, and the original it was just that perfect blend, and it was so smart, and it changed a lot of horror for us after that. I mean, you had a lot of copycats with, you know, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Cherry Falls, um, Urban Legend. The list can go on. Uh, some of those are good.
It was a new wave, a new
It was
era
it was
essentially
a yeah
spawned from this. Yeah.
yeah, it was a new wave of horror that happened after this. But then, even after that new wave of horror happened, this original Scream still to this day influences films that come out. Look at Hard Eyes that came out this past year or last year now. Hard Eyes to me is a better Scream sequel than most of these Scream movies because it understood what the original Scream did. You brought up Thanksgiving. I mean, not Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving.
Wrong one.
Eli Ross Thanksgiving. Very Eli Roth version of a Scream film. I mean, you can see where Wes Craven influenced a lot from the original Scream film. Maybe not the sequels so much,
I mean,
but
Wes Craven
but
in general is
yeah,
inspirational on multitude of levels. Yeah.
but this original Scream has influenced even to films being done now.
Well, here's the thing: what makes Scream One my number one as well. Like to me, not only did this kind of redefine where we were looking at in campy kind of slasher horror, but it also it it was coming out at the right time. Like so, me being you and I being Gen X, we're always deemed the kids who we were pre-tech, during tech, and current. So we've kept up with everything, and we have made the transition seamless, and we feel good about it. Whereas, and I feel like this is the same comparison with horror. Like, so we are from the old school version of horror. We knew that era. And then there's this middle ground where it was kind of a big question mark that everyone thought it was kind of dead. You only had Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers as the primary people everyone referred to. And then all of a sudden, and I'll sub that too with Leatherface and Pinhead. And then all of a sudden you got a new player who's making the
Chucky.
t-shirts. Oh, Chucky, my bad. Chucky's definitely in there. But then you got a new player who's making the t-shirts with Ghostface, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, I at first I was angry, but then I really gave a deep dive into the original Scream, and this movie's great. Like, it is, if I didn't put it at a five, and this just shows how our rankings can change, especially upon this rewatch and watching the franchise now. I probably would do a perfect five now on Scream because it is the perfect film start to finish, the way that it's structurally set up, the pacing of the movie, the music that accompanies the music, the settings they have in every single sequence, the question marks that you keep like, wait, is it him? Wait, is it him? Who is it? And like, I'm going to reference one of my favorite moments in the movie with a sound. And anyone who knows that movie knows Matthew Lillard's character Stu when he does that noise for some reason, like that in his monologues when he's like, "My parents are gonna kill me," those type things. Like I don't know, there's just the cast, the story, everything is just beautifully done and well written. And specifically, Randy, you fucking crushed it, Wes Craven. Sorry, and the writers, they crushed it by putting rules of horror into a movie that would define rules for horror for at least the next 10 years before the other movies started having different sets of rules. So this movie is just without a doubt it's the standard for modern day horror, I would say. Even the gory stuff that we're getting into, it's definitely influenced most of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yeah, it's this movie changed the game, and again, you have to praise this movie for what it brought after. Because I said it in the episode when we reviewed the original Scream. As big of a Chucky fan as I am, I don't think that we would have had Bride of Chucky or Seed of Chucky or Cult of Chucky or any of these films, the Chucky films, had it not been for Scream hitting it when it hit. Because slasher films were out.
Yeah,
Studios were not releasing slasher films.
it
And then
was
all of a sudden,
like action and
Sc-
comedy everywhere.
Scream hit. All of a sudden, fucking studios were like, "Oh my God, we need." Oh, Chucky's a franchise. Let's bring Chucky back. Let's do this. It made the studios start bringing this type of horror back. Because they had closed the door on all this. So
Yeah, no, I'm thankful for it. Now, that said, theories into seven and what we know so far. You got any?
I mean, I think Matthew. Yeah, obviously the big thing is Matthew Lillard's supposed to be coming back. Now, if it's going to be in a flashback kind of scenario or a ghost, I don't know. My personal thing is, I don't think he's going to come back as Ghostface. I think they're going to use him as like a Hannibal Lecter figure. He's going to be in jail talking, you know, trying to, you know, figure out
I
who
li-
the Ghostface is or something.
I like that approach. That'd be really cool, actually. Now, that said, so at the end of Scream 4, when Kirby is stabbed, that's the last time we see Kirby, right?
Well, until Scream 6.
Well, I'm saying, like, in that movie, though, for all intents and purposes, the end of the movie, she is dead because we all think she got killed, right?
No, they at the end of the movie, you see them carry Kirby off on a stretcher.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Hmm.
Okay. Sorry. But, well, the reason I'm going there is because Matthew Lillard, I feel like whether it be your version, which was the Hannibal Lecter approach, which I didn't think about that, and I think that'd be really fucking cool if they did that, or I think he's been there all along, and he is the last Ghostface trying to get at Sydney, and that's why he's going after Sydney and his daughter and her daughter. And the reason I say that is because he has had cameos in 4 of the films in small roles, and I didn't realize it. Well, not 4 of them. Sorry, he starred in one, obviously. In part 2, he's in the background at a party walking by, which I didn't know about. I forgot how he's used in 3, but in 5, I think it's 5, mixing them up. One of them, he's a flamethrower Ghostface. He's in a background in like a commercial or an ad, and he's wearing the mask and he's doing the flamethrower thing. So that's why I said 13. So there's
Hmm.
again a flamethrower Ghostface now, but it's still Matthew Lillard, so it still could be 12. But I don't know if he was always there in the background watching through the years and then came forward. I think that would be a good nail in the coffin, if you will. Um,
The only thing is, that could be a cool little dynamic, but at the same time, if he's always been in the background and kind of weaving through all of these films, and why hasn't anything been said about, oh well, he's not in jail, he's escaped from jail, or
well,
something prior?
they just never found the body, So I mean, that's what they always say.
Mm,
So I
they
just
found the body. They found him. They never said if he was dead, or they never said. Well, they never said they didn't find the body. Then they never. Um, I guess technically they've said that Sydney has said in passing, "Well, I killed them fucking both of them too." So it's kind of been said that he's dead, but at the same time, it's not. I don't know.
it's a big question mark, and that's where everything and the fact that he's confirmed on this could mean jack shit. It could mean that he's walking in the background again. You know what I mean? So anything's kind of theoretical at this point, but for them to bring Stu back in, because I do think he was a huge part of the first one, I would be ecstatic, and I think it would definitely be a fun way to go. Now, I also think it'd be cool if they just shortchanged everyone and brought him in for all of 2 seconds in the beginning and then killed him real quick. You know, like what if he's been trying not he's on the run, he's hiding, and the new Ghostface finds him and kills him, and that's how you start the movie.
He
Like,
gets out, he gets out of fucking prison, and
yeah,
Ghostface runs him over with a car as he's walking out the fucking gate.
I mean, that'd be kind of the biggest fu in a good way, and I'm here for it. I do like the if they punked us and they gave us Sam at the end. I don't know. Anything's up for debate. What I'm not thrilled about is I feel like so far from the way I'm researching into the new one that there's inconsistencies. I feel already. So the detective from part the three was
Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey, but the character's name was Mark, and so she keeps saying her husband's name is Mark, but then there's a different last name on the two different Marks. So, oh, hold on, sorry, my son just texted. Anyways, there's two different last names, so
She
I've
could
got
have went
question
into
marks.
she could have went into witness protection though.
That could be, and then the other thing too is in Scream Five, she talks about her kids as in plural. Whereas in this trailers and everything we're seeing, there's only one daughter and her. So there's a whole bunch of I need to know what's going on to bring us up to speed here. If what's changed, what's going, I don't know. I'll be excited to see how this pans out.
Well, we just have to wait and see. And we don't have to wait too much longer.
I like guessing. I like the theoreticals though because then we can be like, oh, we were fucking off. We were wrong.
And I feel like people are thinking more about, especially you. You're thinking more about this than a lot of people probably should be. But you're kind of went down to, like how people start kind of deep diving in theories about Star Wars. You've kind of started this with the Scream franchise now.
Any franchise is fun to do that with. If it's one that keeps you guessing, it's always fun to do. But the reason why I do that, I always tell everyone my ADHD brain, it's like upstairs at any given time, there's three different songs playing on a jukebox simultaneously while multiple conversations are happening in a room, and I'm interacting with each one of them. So yes, I could be thinking about work, and I could be thinking about my kids and a million other things. Meanwhile, there's still plot theories and plot holes for movies happening in the background. So I can't help myself.
You got any film recommendations?
I do. It was the other one I tried to get you to watch, Choke. I don't know if JP's going to like it, but I'm going to have him watch Choke at some point here because it's about a sex addict and it's based on a book written by Chuck Palahniuk. And for those of you who have heard me talk about Chuck before on the show, it's because he is also the author of Fight Club, and his writings and his books are absolutely phenomenal. They're one of my favorite books to read because of the way he writes. It's just always delivered very well, and he usually has a say in some of these movies and how they are conveyed. And Choke did not did not fall. I mean, it's not exactly like the book by any means. No, nothing's really ever as good as the book, but it is pretty damn amazing. So if you get a chance, Choke is the name of the movie. The main character is Sam Rockwell, and yeah, it's amazing.
So, and I'm going to bring up one that was in my list of stuff to review that you skipped over.
I didn't skip over. I was trying to pick something that we hadn't seen together.
So, I always looking at the new to stream movies and stuff that come out on like Fandango and stuff. And one that I have been waiting on to hit streaming for a while is Dean Kootz's first novel that got turned into a film, which was Watchers, and it finally came up for where you can buy it on Fandango. So it finally popped up on streaming. If you've never watched the '80s, what year did this come out?
Oh, you're
1988 Watchers with stars Corey Haim.
so this isn't a remake?
No.
Okay, there's another movie right now with Dakota Fanning in it called Watchers too.
Yeah, that's a different. This is I'm talking about the 1988 based off Dean Koontz novel Watchers, and it's about a government experiment that has basically linked this super intelligent dog to this creature, and the creature follows the dog and kills anything in its path to try to get to the dog. And the dog is super intelligent, and Corey Haim's character finds this dog and takes him in. And this everywhere Corey Haim goes, this thing follows and it ends up killing whoever's there wherever Corey and this dog was, because it's tracking and following this dog. It also stars Michael Ironside. It has a great cast, and for 1988, it's a wonderful cast. And it's if you're a fan of Dean Koontz, like I am, I love it. I mean, obviously like stuff like Odd Thomas and stuff like that. His writings are great. I think he's just as great as Stephen King, if not better, with a lot of his writings. Now, Watchers is a lower budget film, but it does star Corey Haim during the height of Corey Haim when he was really taking off, in '88. Um, so if you've never seen it, it has hit digital to where you can buy. I don't think it's actually streaming for free, but you can buy it, and it's a wonderful, wonderful like creature feature film from the '80s.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to check that out because I've never seen that. I thought you were referring the Dakota Fanning one. So
Nope. This one for you, if you want to check it out, it's in my Fandango too. So
fair. Um, All right, guys. CineNerdsPodcast.com is our website. We've got 100 plus videos up there of reviews we've done for various movies, including multitude of top 5 movies, top 5 lists. Sorry. So go ahead and give it a check if you can. If you guys need something to listen to while you're driving a long trip, or you got a long work day ahead of you and you're driving, throw it in. Helps us out, and yeah, spread the word too. Sharing is caring, because JP has done the wonderful job of posting up some videos on just how to do that too.
yeah, you just go in, click the little dots on our Facebook, and you can go in and go invite your friends to this page, and then when you click that, you can literally hit select all. Facebook will let you send up to 1,000 invites a day. So if you've got 2,000 friends, boom, select all, send. The next day,
Or
come back, do it again.
and JP has figured out a way also to start posting our video premieres finally, so we can have the video premieres available on different platforms. So with that said, if there's a topic that you or your friends both share that you like, and it's just a specific episode, even, you can share that episode with them too, and just say, hey, check this out. And just because, like for instance, last week, I don't know if any of you were able to check out, but we did the Dummy Detective, and we had the wonderful Sean Young, Deborah Twist, Jonathan Geffner. It was a great interview. Little things like that, helping us spread the word, helps us grow, and that's our goal in 26. We want to try and get this message out there to a lot more people who love movies like you and I.
And one thing, one thing I want to add, talking about inviting friends, to the Facebook. So for me to, because certain platforms are a little different, so I just want to throw this out there. I've had people say, "Hey, won't you premiere your episodes on TikTok like we do YouTube?" I can absolutely do that. If you noticed, I actually did a live premiere of one of our episodes a week or so ago now, and I just did it during the day because I was testing some stuff out. And so when I did this, TikTok will not allow us to actually stream from my OBS software, to where I can like live stream from my OBS software to TikTok and Facebook simultaneously. It will not let me do that until we hit X amount of followers. So invite your friends and share our stuff on TikTok too, so we can gain those followers, so I can start running our episode streaming from our software, because TikTok will not allow us until we hit so many followers. Why? I don't know. TikTok's finicky like that,
There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with different platforms right now, and
Yeah.
and how they monetize and how they're choosing to share. We know there's changes in ownership or handoffs that are happening, and people overseeing certain things. So just really, the name of the game is that sharing, sharing and inviting. If you guys can do that, we can build up followings. Like TikTok, I think it's 1,000 followers you need on there to be able to go live.
Yeah. Well, you can go live. You just can't stream from our software until you hit 1,000 followers.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So yeah, it's weird finicky stuff like that. That you guys ask us to do this, and it's like, well, until we get the amount of followers, some of the stuff we're limited on what we can do. But we're trying. But we need your help. Just keep sharing. On YouTube, same thing. We still need people to subscribe, follow us here. So just share, send this out everywhere. Soapbox
All right.
done. Until next week, Next week we're doing Inglorious Bastards, and we will see you next week, you Inglorious Bastards.
Peace out. Cheers.
Later.